I'm going to warm up with a shirt, and I'm going to show you how to do a heart, because the heart's the butt part of the cattail. So, got to be able to do a good clean heart first. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into that, and then here in a second I will show you all last week's dropper that I dyed. So, got that here ready for you. If you are a tie-dyer and you get bulk shirts from anywhere, check out shirtspace.com, because they have some pretty cool deals. You know, I get a lot of my stuff from them, and this week they have provided another shirt for us. So we're going to take this medium comfort color shirt and we're going to get started on doing a heart. So this week, what I didn't do last week was I need to turn these shirts inside out a lot of times, because I forget to. A lot of times I'll do it beforehand and I didn't really mention it, so I'm going to show you. I turn it inside out sometimes, especially when I'm going to draw a line and I don't want the marker to come through, if it takes a few washes for that to rinse out. I do use all washable Crayola markers or whatever other cheap washable markers I can. See here. Let me see if I can change the angle of this real quick so y'all can see a little bit better. A little better to look further down. I don't have a lot of space to work with in this room, so we're going to try to get all we can out of it. Alright, but y'all can basically see. Here we go. Alright, so I've got the shirt inside out, nice and flat. And we're going to fold it in half, find our center by placing our finger there. We don't necessarily need to make a mark because this is going to happen real quick. So I have my finger placed down. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up and then find the middle at the top of the collar. Good spot right there in the middle works. Pull it down. And instead of fussing with the sleeves and all that right now, I'm going to go ahead and leave those alone. So, let's see here. How is this going to look good for y'all so we can get it all seen? There we go. Waiting on it to pull up on my monitor so I can see a comment section. There we go. There we go. Pull up the comment section. Alright. So, in order to learn how to do the cat butt and the cat butt's tail, you gotta get a good solid heart down first. I'm gonna go ahead and see here. Gonna just draw a pretty basic heart. Get a nice deep, almost like half circle. Get a good shape for it. Kind of work it out as you do it. I use the outside of my line as my gauge. And there we go. Just kind of in the top center of the chest. Let's see this. Alright, so it looks like we can see it pretty good as long as I kind of stay back. Alright. Well, I really appreciate y'all joining me, even if it was just over a hot dog water comment. Alright, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. You can see there's a little line out of the way. I don't want to mess me up. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that line up. So I know exactly where I want that to be. That's going to be the outside of my line. That's going to be the line that I follow the most when I get to pleating here right now. Alright, so let's see how this looks. So I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. You can do it either way. A lot of people will swear that you should do it from top to bottom and just kind of come around the crest. But like, if you could do it one way, you can do it the other. So it really doesn't matter. I like to have my line to my right side so that when I get to pulling sinew, I don't have to flip the shirt around a whole lot. So, alright. I have tweezers that I love. These are chisel tip tweezers. And they don't rip or tear the fabric, and I've gotten pretty good at just getting a hold of them, the fabric, and getting pleats. So the first one is It's really kind of very important because it sets the tone for the rest. So you want to make sure that it goes halfway from the top of the pleat and the bottom of the pleat where you're going to have it. I'm going to get better cameras soon so we can zoom in on this. And I promise we're going to work on that. If you'd like to donate to that, you could send anything that you'd like to kaidies@gmail.com on PayPal. And I really appreciate those of y'all that supported last week. A few people sent some digital tips to PayPal, and I really appreciate it. Really helped me get through the week this week. It was nice. All right, so we get a good firm start by lining up our line. Like I said, I want it to be halfway because my line, my sinew, is going to come right across this line. So I want to make sure that that's nice and ready to go, and I get the sharpest point. So like I said, I'm going to get these lines onto the left, and the left side of my line is going to be my straight line that I'm going to follow. And when this kind of comes around, I'm just really going to try to keep driving my lines towards me. So I'm going to pull the rest of this shirt around so that it comes right into my hand. Now, I like to use smaller pleats a lot of times. A lot of them are usually about 1/4 inch to, a little more than that to 1/2 inch tall. And there's different heights for different pleats for different applications that I'll use. And I'll show you a little bit of that on this next project when I get to it. It's going to be the cat butt with the heart butt. So, Leanne, thanks for joining us, Mama. Tonight we're going to do the cat butt. We're going to do a curved cat butt tail because I know a lot of people are like, man, how does he do that? Well, I'm sure there's more ways than one to accomplish it, but I'll show you all how I do it. It's a fun little trick. Kind of throws people off with the asymmetry. It's one of my favorite themes in art. Like, I love symmetry and all the things that you can do with it, but when people expect you to be symmetrical and you're just not, it's one of the best feelings. So I like being asymmetrical. We're going to keep following this all the way around, and I'm sure you can see on here. I'm going to open up my hand a little bit and let y'all see. I get a little bit of lag on the camera, but this whole line is straight. You're going to see that all the way around. Sorry, my hand kind of covers it. I'm going to get a GoPro maybe one of these days and put it on my hat so you can see exactly what I'm seeing. But I'm just really just using my pinky to bring the fabric around and kind of keep it straight, and I'll use this pinky to kind of support from the center of the heart as it comes around, and it kind of comes in nice and square, nice and straight, and I press it down to make sure that it keeps the line and I'm not going to really deviate. Just so y'all know, man, that dropper came out freaking awesome. Like, it's right over here next to me. Once I get this line secure, I'll go ahead and pull it out. Alright, so I've pleated around. I've kept all my pleats about the same height. And I'm getting to the end. Now, like I said, I only want like half of it to come up across my line so that I can get a nice sharp point right here. So I'm not going to make sure that it's not going to be a full pleat. It's only going to be like half a pleat, and it's going to cross at like a 45-degree angle right here where the sinew's going to run. Right here through my nice straight line. Right there. I like it when it comes out nice and clean like that. It makes it look like it's easy. Alright, so we're going to pull out our nice sinew. Looks like I pulled it a little too tight the first time on my last project. Well, earlier today I did a nice little octopus tapestry for my buddy Tyler. Hopefully Tyler's here and checking it out tonight. But yeah, buddy, I got your tapestry tied up this evening earlier. So that's going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait to see that one come out. I actually put 8 tentacles on there this time. Last time I did it on a shirt. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and wrap the sinew. I got a nice secure bit with my thumb first, and I placed it underneath there. And then I use my forefinger to kind of keep pinching as I secure this line. I'm going to wrap it on the left side of my color line. and I'm going to wrap it 3 or 4 times. I don't want it to slip out, but I also don't want a lot of extra line being left over. Now, y'all remember this block that I had last week? This thing weighs a good, 5 pounds or whatever. I like to set this down there and make sure that my line is nice and secure when I go ahead and pull it tight. It also helps to keep everything nice and flat and even when you're doing longer pleats. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to put our hand up as close as we can to it with our sinew puller, and we're going to give it just enough torque to secure it. Now, if you don't have a lot of arm strength, you can definitely like stand, place, and you can kind of get underneath there and just pull with your right shoulder. So you just pull like that, and you'll get a little more torque on these lines. I know getting these lines really tight is difficult, but it really makes a difference when it comes to those crisp sinew lines. You can go ahead and pull that through. I still have a little bit of fuzz on there. I'm going to see if I can pull that all the way through. And with a little bit of experience, you can feel that. And this fabric is kind of springy, so it's a little forgiving, and you can kind of feel it. There we go. Nice. So we have our first line around, and we're going to go ahead and secure that even more. Get 2 or 3 turns around. And we're going to put our hand down, flat, push down as much as you can, and then pull again. So it's nice and tight. Just for good measure, because I like a nice, clean, separated line. I'm going to do it a couple more times. And really just put a resistance in between the spot that this sinew is pulling and pushing down at the same time. It's keeping this very tight. It's going to make it very hard for liquid to get in there. And the wax really keeps it from going up everywhere as well. So I like to have both of my channels on the other side. Nice. They're not going to touch each other, so that's good, because, it sucks when it bleeds over and you don't want it to. I mean, it still looks cool, but if you're not intending to do something and something happens, yeah, it can get kind of frustrating. All right, so like we did last week, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my sleeves and go inside out with these. I'm going to pull out my tag and reach my hand right on and in there, and I get it and pull it through. Here we go. I'm going to line up these seams on the bottom of my sleeves because I want this to be as close together as possible. The tighter together the fabric is, the better surface area you got, and the more you can do with it. So this is all still pretty good. I like to tie my shirts damp so that they kind of stay together. Like I don't have much control when it comes to a dry shirt. So here we go. I'm going to take these sleeves, and I like to push them inside of them. You can do whatever you like. I like to put them in there, kind of work them around a little bit. I'm just going to scrunch the outside of this. This would also be a point if I wanted to add a spine to the shirt. I could draw a funky line and follow that, do some other cool stuff. The shirt's not going to go anywhere, so you can pretty much do whatever you want. But we're going to go ahead and scrunch-roo this up so we can get on to the good part. The goods, the cat butt. Everybody likes the cat butt. Oh, Travis just mentioned the tapestry behind me. Yeah, I got very lucky, and this is why you gotta get in on those raffles. I got a raffle ticket from Kagan, and I think I put like $50 down and got like 15 tickets. I don't know how many came in, but it was really cool to like get a little notification and someone saying congratulations. I was like, what? And Sam Hill's going on, and Kagan's on there doing a little giveaway, and I was like, oh yeah, that. And I was really, really stoked. And so I really wanted to show off my buddy's work. Both Kagan and Raul really knocked this guy out of the park. If you guys are Dragon Ball Z fans, y'all love this. I'm going to hold on to it a little bit. Maybe I'll turn it into an NFT. So back to work. We're going to go ahead and just scrunch this up a little bit, make it all disheveled. make it look kind of like a brain. You can just kind of scrunch it up, push it up into the back of the fabric. You do kind of whatever you want. You can even leave it all nice and horizontal like that if you'd like, and that does a really cool thing. So there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do with hearts. But keeping with with my style and the direction that I like to go, I'm going to go ahead and do this and keep the scrunch on there. That's how we do like this fun little micro scrunch. Alright, so just like last week, I'm going to take this, I'm going to kind of push it forward so that I get a nice firm, flat, nice and thin, flat surface to work with when I decide to start spilling dyes on this here in a couple weeks. I like to let my shirts dry out completely and before I put dye on them, because it really helps with the absorption and the color blending, and just really makes for a nice aesthetic. So really like to keep it like this. Let's see here. Yo, Kagan, what's up, homie? Yo, dude, Kagan's the boss, dude. He even got air fresheners. You get one of his tapestries, man, y'all be fresh for a minute. Y'all check out the Trippy Hippie Company on Instagram. Kagan's one of my best buddies, dude. This is really cool. You know, my car smells like shit, so we're going to put this in there for the road, and it's going to be much better. So, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate you throwing that in there. Hopefully, maybe I can get those printed up, too. All right, so let's band this. Oh, see it all kind of coming up? You got to get control of this before that becomes a problem and just squash it back down. You can come back with the brick thing and then press down while this comes in, and you'll get better control of it as you work with it. Just pressing down and pushing in really helps, though. It's really what I like to do because it keeps it from being all uneven and stuff. A little more scratch realies in there. Kagan even has his own group. You know, Keg, throw your link in there, man, so people can check it out. And hopefully real soon we're going to have some heat come out, because we are planning on doing some collaborations here in the future. This thing's settled down a little bit. All right. All right. Tyler in there. Let's see here. All right. Now, you notice I'm just doing horizontal bands. I'm going to try to keep those parallel, because that's like throwing on my support beams. So I'll get those all kind of lined up, down, press down with my hands, scrunch in, nice and set. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to get a little more support by going across some of these and making like little X's. And like, you know, like in bridge work, you know, if you ever did that little bridge thing with toothpicks and marshmallows in school or whatever, you make a fun little bridge. The triangles were the strongest. Long live the triangle. All hell. All hell. So here you go. So we're going to go ahead and apply that kind of idea and get some triangles up in there. Just like that. Now, the way that I let these things dry is a lot of times I'll just stand them up, and it's super freaking humid down here in Baton Rouge. So it takes so long for these shirts to dry a lot of times. So really having them nice and thin, it has helped these shirts dry and helped them take the dye how I like to put them down. So that's another reason why it's, you know, nice and thin. But it's not done yet, but just about. I'm going to go ahead and pop another couple bands on there. Get that guy secure. And, you know, I'll dye that here soon. I'm going to go ahead and put that in a batch with other hearts. And I'll have some hearts out here soon. I'm working on a shop right now. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to get good pictures and everything. I'm not very good with computers. Like, I was messing with computers, 10 years ago or so, and then I just kind of fell off and started blowing glass and just, I learned how to use my phone for everything. So it's kind of a learning curve, getting to use the laptop again and learn how to set everything up and, edit photos and, a lot of fun. All right. Yeah, Kagan says you can go ahead and share all your work on his page. He likes that. Personally, my group is for you guys to come and check out what I'm doing. Check in with me. And for other dyers, out there, you guys are, business people, groups are good for building a community and setting up an audience. So I definitely encourage you, if you haven't already, to set up your own group, no matter what you're making. If you're making something cool and you got something to say, something to show, do it, but I think groups are much more effective in reaching people than just Facebook pages. So that's something that helped me as I grew as an artist and developed. This group right here that we're in right now, it's got almost 5,000 people in it. That's amazing, and I hope that y'all stick around a little while because we're gonna do some more cool stuff. So this is your heart. We're done. Got that done. We're gonna go ahead and show you that dropper real quick. Go ahead and pull that out. All right.